Developer Sucker Punch has always been considered a respectable developer, due to their valiant efforts bringing their critically acclaimed Infamous series to life. In one's opinion, however, the talented team never quite managed to reach that upper echelon of interactive creators. You know, the ones whose games managed to be considered in the Game of the Year discussions. However, after basking in the compelling universe of Ghost of Tsushima, I am certainly singing a different tune. Sucker Punch has officially arrived, and while Ghost of Tsushima does borrow influence from other noteworthy titles, this cultural explosion of beautiful wonderment of ancient Japanese enlightenment is undeniably one of the best interactive experiences of the generation. Ghost of Tsushima is a fantastical RPG action-adventure, founded on 3 narrative acts, each of which are fundamentally related to the distinct locales of the island of Tsushima. Traversing this exorbitant canvas of artistic refinement, our lead character Jin is accompanied by his chosen and trusted steed, for the time being, of course. Maintaining a photo mode option, just in case you happen to drop your controller in awe of all of the incredible sights of the game's brilliantly depicted settings, featuring vast mountain ranges, some with splendid snowcaps, highly scrutinized Buddhist temples, exquisite mountaintop shrines and waterfalls, including the endless fields of vegetation showcasing bold color expression and organic behavior relative to the game's weather elements. Everywhere you look, the island of Tsushima is wonderfully inviting amidst all the bloodshed. Offering a simple yet intuitive fast travel system, players will not mind racing across this vast island to their next main campaign or side quest objectives, as the visual splendor of the game seems like a pronounced character all its own. You will love traveling through this world, as the game's beauty demands your attention, alluring you to avoid fast travel, to take in all of the game's grandeur. With a robust mixture of main campaign duties, including side quest objectives associated with the game's rich character designs, Jin's quest is a lengthy journey of discovery. On one end of the scale, Jin is a devout samurai, sworn to protect the island of Tsushima from all invaders. However, on the other end, Jin and the people of Tsushima are facing a formidable enemy in the powerful and ruthless Mongols. To overcome these mounting odds, Jin must adapt. Yet in this way, Jin gradually goes down the rabbit hole of betraying his samurai culture, an honor code of sorts, which in light of a brutal and intelligent Mongol enemy seems dated, filled with foolishness and arrogance. With his burning desire to liberate the people of Tsushima by any means, Jin is conflicted. Throughout this 60-hour journey, Jin finds himself troubled by his resolve. Ultimately, this struggle becomes the core of the game's epic adventure. Along for the ride, Jin's process is accompanied by a cast of compelling Tsushima characters, whose lives are also disturbed by the invasion and warring affairs. From combative nobles, a thief, a master blacksmith, to a warrior monk, as well as a sake smuggler, and so on. The lives of these people in one way or another have been altered, and like Jin, are willing to sacrifice their own lives to restore peace. Players are drip-fed the unique stories of these characters, which are expressed in episodic fashion. In this way, your emotional buy-in to the many characters is profound. Sucker Punch makes it a point to involve Jin in the lives of the characters in an organic, true-to-life manner. While the player has the absolute freedom to run through the campaign without embracing a deeper, more fulfilling understanding of the characters, this would most certainly be a disservice to one's experience. In addition to Jin's involvement with the story arc of the game's main characters, Jin's efforts are also integrated within the random happenings of NPCs throughout the island of Tsushima. If assisted, these characters offer valuable intel on Mongol activities and other valuable insights. As new activities are unearthed, the more the horrors of war begin to showcase its ugly face. Throughout the ride, the game seemed unapologetic about how human suffering was on full display. Finding a pile of charred bodies stacked on top of each other in a heap of smoke, witnessing children hanging while their parents cried out, or finding arrow-ridden bodies scattered across a field of blood and carnage was all commonplace on the island of Tsushima. Interestingly, the more this was digested, the more as a player I evolved into an unstoppable killing machine, and I loved every swing of my sword. Maintaining poetic posturing in nature, beauty, and balance, developer Sucker Punch drops players in an unforgettable universe that systematically shares your space with harmony. Decide on an objective point on the map and the wind ever so aggressively blows and rushes you in that direction, followed by the nature reacting to your call with fully bloomed red blossom trees and fields of grass behaving properly. And don't get me started on the game's vivid color spectrum of all of the beautifully rendered yellows, reds, purples, blues, and green plant life artistically brushed across the game. Foxes and colorful birds make their presence known as well, by leading you to fox shrines and or hot springs, including other key map points such as forgotten swords for customizable color options. Even still, the Ghost of Tsushima never forgets to balance the scales with moments of meditation and contemplation, as Jin discovers peaceful locales where players sit among nature to craft poetry by way of the game's haiku system, and as a result, players are rewarded with new headbands. Make no mistake about it, the invading Mongols led by the crafty and powerful Khotun Khan are a savage bunch, laying waste to the island at every turn. Invading with sheer aggression, the Khan understands that the weakness of the samurai is its honor code. Thus, the Khan utilizes tactics that brutally paralyze the samurai way. In this way, the Mongols are varied in their combative approach, utilizing swords, spears, shields, dual swords, accurate archers as well, various heavy enemies. Jin is forced to always be on his toes as his approach to war gradually evolves. Facing the Mongols, combat is a procedure in learning various playstyles or stances. Due to this approach, combat is quite deliberate. Though it may take a little time to master, once you do, the fun factor meter soars. Because Ghost of Tsushima is a rich narrative-driven experience, it is obvious Sucker Punch had no plans of pushing the players too much with too challenging of difficulties. As of this review, Sucker Punch has increased the difficulty with a lethal option. The combat here never gets old, as you are constantly switching up your engagement on the fly. While some of the game's traversal animations can feel somewhat rigid at times, during combative affairs the experience is butter smooth, with quick reaction times, blended perfectly with stylish cinematic elements. However, there are alternative methods to combat, which go against your code, yet they feel so good to execute. This approach finds Jin infiltrating and surprising enemies from the shadows. With the necessary tools, this approach is enhanced, allowing Jin to devastate his enemies with fear and terror. More often than not, I let my nature and emotions lead the way, to which was immensely gratifying. Both styles of play are supported by a robust set of upgrades, many of which provide meaningful new options as well. Ghost of Tsushima feels like the perfect blend of storytelling, combat, and exploration. The game's world is filled with enjoyable discoveries, such as the aforementioned hot springs, where Jin could relax and reflect, as well as boost his overall health meter. Traverse and master those hard-to-reach shrine locales, and even confront those Ronin assassins waiting to lay claim to your legend. Aside from a few animation shortcomings, the game greatly raises the expectation bar. I truly never wanted the game or its emotionally charged story to end. Ultimately, Ghost of Tsushima has positioned itself as the quintessential open-world samurai experience. And there you have it.
Thank you so much for checking out our video. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and be sure to subscribe, and also hit that notification button to be updated on our latest videos.
叔上が受けた恥すすぎに参った